Welcome back to another edition of the Guitar Bucket List. I'm Jim Fusco, and I'm joined by
Chris Moore.
Thank you very much for joining me today.
Well, I guess first time in the video, long time viewer.
Yeah, long time viewer, first time participant. So Chris and I, if you haven't watched the channel or seen any of the stuff that I've done, Chris and I have been doing music together for a very long time.
For longer than we haven't been.
Yes,
yeah.
Longer than we'd want to admit. But through that, Chris has seen all my whims and things that I'm into, whether it's arcade machines or professional wrestling or baseball, and then eventually guitars,
Yes.
which has always been there a little bit, but over the last 10 years, I'd say, has really exploded.
Yeah, as you can see.
Into what we've got now. And so as I've gone through this journey to try to complete the bucket list, one of the things that was on my list is something that I have not gotten yet, in part, honestly, because he bought the best one, and now I'm struggling to try to find one. I can't buy the same thing. But,
well, and you helped me find it, and that was one of the interesting things that I hadn't bought a guitar in a very, very long time, and I knew I wanted something like a picture of. I basically told you this is the guitar, Nels Cline, the guitarist from Wilco. I like this a lot, and you started asking me, well, do you want this feature up here? Do you want that over there? And like, yes, no, yes, and then you helped me find it.
Yeah,
so
and it wasn't an easy one to find, actually. This was a limited edition, but we'll get to that in a second. I think it just wanted to kind of point out how different, as similar as we are and have been, I think we're very different in how we go about buying guitars, in that I think even if money was no object, that my theory is, you can tell me I'm wrong.
Let's find out.
That you wouldn't accumulate all of this. That it's not even like there's nothing necessarily holding you back from it, other than that I don't know that you would necessarily want all of these guitars in the same way.
For me, it's piles of books at home. I've got a stupid number of books. Like, I don't need as many books as I have. I can't read them all. Like, I'm hoping I have enough time in my life to get to them eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason I've got a guitar. Like, why do I need another guitar? Is my mentality.
Yeah.
But then when I'm here, I can see the appeal, because this one sounds better with this kind of music. Oh, and you play a solo, I want that one over there, and you're playing this gig over here. I see the appeal.
Yeah, and you catch a glimpse of a sparkle out of the corner of your eye, and it's like, oh, all right, that one's pretty nice. But
it's like having artwork on the wall, really.
In a way, yeah.
You know?
But that's why we like guitars. If anybody,
Functional art.
Yeah, functional art, and retains its value and doesn't take up a heck of a lot of room. I mean, it's the perfect collection, I think. But let's get to why we're here today, and let's talk about this great Jazzmaster. Now, this isn't a signature model, though. This is right. This is not his guitar or anything like that. It just happens to be one. Now, is this the only one he plays? Like Springsteen only playing the blonde Telecaster? Or?
He plays other guitars, and I don't follow it super closely, but he has, I think, another Jazzmaster, and I've seen him play different guitars. This just happens to be the one he played in a bunch of the songs that I really enjoy watching. I'll go back on YouTube and watch the solos again and again and again. So it caught my eye.
Now, you've been a fan of many different artists over the years. You're a big Bob Dylan fan, and in your formative music years, you're a big Clapton guy.
Yes.
So why not a Stratocaster like Dylan and Clapton had? Like, why jump to the Jazzmaster?
It's funny you ask, because it's not the I'm blanking. It's not Fender. It's the
Squier.
Squier. I have the Squier Strat, with the kind of sunbursty look, because Bob Dylan had that, and a bunch of the things I was watching when I didn't have an electric guitar, and that was the first guitar I got for electric. So even though I don't have a real Strat, like, I have kind of one in my head, at least. So
yeah,
maybe someday, because that to me is like the iconic guitar.
And if you were to get the Clapton Strat, it would probably look very similar to this, because it would have been the black one, right?
Which is probably like, well, why would I get that? I already got
I got this. See, he's a very practical man. I think that's, and I am too in every other aspect of life, I swear. Just not this one.
But it's funny how growing up, we had these audio cassette tapes, and like Eric Clapton, to me, like I think guitar, I think what's he call it?
Slow hands.
Slow hand. Or the guitar, the black.
Oh,
Fender.
that's right.
Is there a name?
There is. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'll think of it right after we. Please, somebody school us and
Throw it
put
in the comments. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So with this one here, I think you ended up. It's funny. I think the model that you had in your head that you wanted turns out to be a really great choice, just as a guitar. I'm not. It's not hyperbole. Is on blowing smoke when I say this is something that I really look at every time I see it. I can like, boy, I really like that guitar, and I want that guitar, and it's for a few different reasons. The main one to me, this is a made in Mexico guitar. It was not cheap. What you would think like it wasn't at like the $699 price point or something like that. But one of the reasons is the 60th anniversary of the Jazzmaster guitar. So an anniversary model is always good. So just a tip for future guitar, and they make an anniversary model for everything. They'll come out with 60, 75, 70. There's, it doesn't matter what it is, they'll come out with it. But it's a good thing. Usually try to make something pretty unique about it. One of the things that I think sets this guitar apart from almost all the rest is it's got the real lacquer finish, the Nitro lacquer finish on it. And in person, and if you can hold it up, let's give me a little Vanna White action here. There you go. You can tell. In person, it just has a look that doesn't scream polyurethane finish to it. And it's just got an iconic look. It has the bound fretboard, which is such a cool look on a Jazzmaster. I just love that. The block inlays as opposed to the dots is also an amazing look.
I like that.
And then the other thing that I love about this particular one is that other than those things, or I guess maybe even with those things, it's very traditionally spec'd otherwise. And I like that because a lot of the new Jazzmasters don't have the rhythm circuit up here. They go without that, figuring most guys aren't playing as a rhythm player in a jazz quartet. So they don't need that rhythm circuit anymore. Well, you know what? It's supposed to be there. I want it.
I liked having it sounds silly, but like I wanted, if that's a feature that's available, like I don't buy guitars often enough. I wanted that feature. And I play rhythm when we play, so I felt it would give a chance to have it be a better sound and more options available.
Yeah, it really does change the sound, I'd say. And then it has the standard Jazzmaster pickups. These ones here are a special edition version of the pickup, so that's kind of cool. And, the tremolo arm, the way that the controls are laid out, the plastics on it, and everything really just screams traditional, except for, and we'll have to move this one down a little bit, is the headstock, which is painted the same as the body. And how cool does that look? And we added to adjust the camera a little bit today, but if you can get the whole thing on the screen there, what a cool look that this thing has.
You pointed out about the headstock being painted the same. I hadn't even, for some reason, noticed it, and then I couldn't look away because you sent me a few different options to consider, and that once it caught my eye, I was like, oh, it's not going to be quite right if I don't get that.
I was so happy that this was the one that you chose, and so and you were able to buy it in new old stock condition from a store that basically hadn't sold it since it came out new. So you lucked out.
Helpful, tips.
Came with a really nice case too. We'll throw a picture up of that over here, and it really is really nice. And if you're wondering what it does check off the bucket list, because I'm counting this as part of my bucket list here, because
it's on the video now, it's official.
Yeah, exactly. Because and the reason is that I honestly don't know when I'm going to get one. Like I'm kind of in love with a new version they have. It's a new series they came out with, these American Jazzmasters. They have one in this beautiful green color that's got the matching headstock and the whole thing. And but they're pretty pricey. I think they're somewhere around $2,500. And as such a Gibson guy as I am, I don't know that I can let myself spend that on that particular guitar when I would say like, well, there is this weird Gibson model that I wasn't going to buy and I'd rather use the money towards that. And I just have a feeling it's going to keep getting pushed down further on the list. But the true reason is that you having this takes away that angst for me. I do feel in a way that it's part
in the family.
It's in the family. You're probably like, no, it's not, Jim. Like, in my head, it is.
You're part of the hunt. You found it.
I feel like it's here.
Yeah.
And it's part of our arsenal because, you know, Chris and I, we record a lot together. And so, you know, I feel like if I was making an album, it's no more than a phone call away.
I think it'd be cool to get it on an album because then I could listen and be like, there it is. Like,
There
it's
it
in
is.
it's in the mix.
Hey, you're going to have to play it. It can't be me.
Sounds good. Well, hopefully it'll sound good.
Yeah,
It'll sound good.
We'll make it sound good. So this is the 60th Anniversary Jazzmaster. What a really cool instrument, and I congratulations. I just love this thing.
Thank you for having me on. I enjoy watching the videos and learning the nuances, and it's cool to have it be added to the series.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why don't we just give it just a quick listen?